Hello, I'm Ashish Yadav, and today I'm gonna present my industrial training report. So, its topic is MLOps, which is basically applying machine learning on DevOps. So, first I'll start with machine learning, an introduction to machine learning. So, what machine learning is? So, if we go by a formal definition, so it's kind of more of boring thing that it is to predict data and outcomes without being explicitly programmed to do so. So, I have a very interesting way or a very exciting way to demonstrate it that what basically machine learning is. So let's suppose this is a there is a one ordinary machine which is your computer. It has a camera, a microphone, okay, and there is specifically apps, but their apps just click photos and microphone just record your voice, okay. But if we apply machine learning and AI, so what we can basically do, we can do much more smarter things and make our machine smarter. So what basically ML or algorithm consists is it learns data first. The first stage is it learns data. Then second is it is predicting and analyzing the data. Okay, so it's finding that is there any correlation between those data and try to find out that what kind of data is this. So first it analyze the data and then predict the data, okay. Then it will give result, and if there is any disparity in result, so what it will give feedback to its own model and then it will improve in future predictions. So that's a very good thing, or the best thing of ML, that it improvises by all by itself, okay. So now this machine is implemented with machine learning, okay. So what task it can do? So first task, basically it's cam with the help of camera we can do is image classification or face recognition. Like this machine will open by your face, so by recognizing your face, and won't unlock until unless it sees your face, okay. So very smart things. Second is controlling computer with voice command. So what basically this is, we have seen Cortana. So that Cortana is basically a machine learning program, and it used to control, like example, Cortana open web browser. So it will open web browser in your computer. So that is also, by recognizing your voice, you can wake up your computer. So that is controlling your computer with voice command. So it is also help us to do daily task in our computer. Third is predicting data such as stock prices. So what stock prices, like you feed data with so many prices with so many factors. So if you'll ask them that what future stock prices will be, so it will able to tell you by seeing trends, by seeing correlation between those statistics. So that is one of the wonderful application of machine learning. Sec Now it is, what's the process of machine learning? So process includes total 5 steps. The first step, it is it identify the relevant data sets, like is it statistics data, or is it kind of image, is it kind of what video kind of thing. So first it identified the relevant data and prepares them for analysis, like what kind of data is that. Then second step is choose the type of machine learning. So if it's like predicting numerical data or kind of a stock data, so it use linear regression. If it's you have to use it for face recognition, then it use image classification or a classification method of ML. So that stage is that you have to choose which algorithm you're going to use. Third is we have to build that model based on chosen algorithm, that what are protocols will be used for that model, what related program will we have to run. Okay, so third is build an analytical model based on that chosen algorithm. Okay, fourth is train the model on the test data set. So basically what we are doing, like we made a model, but now we have to train that model. So we provide a test data and train it. Then we'll compare it to a actual data. so we'll find the accuracy of it. So the major uh, need of test data is to find the accuracy of model, that is our model accurate enough or not. If it's not accurate, we have to add layers and layers. So that's why this step is so much crucial. Then final step is run the model to generate the scores, or integrate with your apps and all. So this is the whole process of machine learning. Types of machine learning. So first is supervised learning. What supervised learning is, that whenever we give a label data to our model, like we have to find stocks, so we give input, we label them data, that it is stock price, it is previous stock price, what was the stock price before 10 years of particular product. So we are giving input a label data, we are supervising that model by our own inputs. Okay, so we are providing inputs, we are supervising that model. So in that case, it will be known as supervised learning. Linear regression is example of supervised learning. Second is unsupervised learning. What unsupervised learning is, basically face recognition, which is that it will recognize your face. So what it means, it means that you are not providing that you have to read this, it automatically detects your face, and by feature extraction and feature elimination, it just able to recognize all of it. So that is unsupervised learning, like you are not giving any kind of input to it, it's just doing it by all self uh, itself only. Okay, now the third is a very high profile, or a heavy type of learning, which is reinforcement learning. So what basically, in reinforcement learning, you made a machine that is capable of doing all things by itself. Okay, so self-driving car or Tesla we have heard, so it is an example of reinforcement learning, like machine is able to take decision by itself only, if and also it learns by itself only by its experience. So that is very heavy kind of learning, like we have seen robots playing games, video games and all. So that is kind of reinforcement learning, where machine is able to do all by itself only. Okay, so these are three types of learnings, machine learning. Now the coming to the next topic, which is DevOps. Okay, so DevOps is what, basically, first I'll go through definition, official definition, which is DevOps is a software engineering practice that aims at unifying software development and software operation. So basically there are two teams, one is software development and the other is software operation. So what we are unifying, main work of DevOps is, like star is also there. So the main motive of DevOps is to unify these two processes, which takes too much time if we are, developing a product or something. So these two product, like development and operation, has to do work simultaneously. Okay, so that work is done by DevOps tools now. Okay, so this is what, like one person is developing, the other is operating it, and giving feedback to it. So you just unify these two processes and make them, automation, and do the automation of them, so our product development and delivery of product will be fast and fast. So let's understand that how all this gonna work. Okay, so the first step is code. Code in this SCM is used, which is source code management. You have to put all your codes in a repository. Okay, so what we have to do, we put our code, our model, or anything, like if there is an app, so we have to put that code, and you have to, you just feed in our repository. Second is build. So with help of continuous integration, it is a very good thing in DevOps, that what you have to build that product by through pipelines only. Okay, so this build means it will integrate all of the code at one place, and it unify all of it, and it just build that product or a app at that time. Okay, third is test. So what test basically do, that it will test that whether it is working fine or not, like are there any errors or something. So it will check and then will revert to it. if that if that stage if your app cross that test stage, then it gonna release into the client side. Okay, so release and deploy are kind of same thing. We gonna deploy on the client side, and as you can see that this is the client side and this is the company side. So client gonna use it, and so in back end what is happening, DevOps tools are monitoring it. Like when they deploy the app or any product, so they're gonna operate it, they're gonna monitor it, and if there is any problem, so they're gonna give feedback to our SCM, or to our operational team. Operational team here refers to operation tools. Okay, so that that feedback, when it receives the feedback, then again same process goes on, like in GitHub. In Git, it edits the code and then again build it, and then again send to. So this this tool, or this DevOps is very efficient in product development, where software development and software operation thing are unify, and all of the work is automated. Okay, let's move forward. So this is uh, a simpler version to understand DevOps. Like here is version control, like which version, like if we are doing any app update, so first that app update is gonna like version 2.0 is there, so it gonna we're gonna make that update, then it gonna build in pipelines, then testing will be there, then it will deploy, then auto testing will also in monitoring side it will be done, then production happens, and then we're gonna it gonna measure and validate that are there any problems coming or not, or is it working fine, and if there are any problem, it gonna feedback to that version, that in version 2.0 there is problem. So again that operation team have to do, or tool have to do correction mistakes, and it have to rectify the mistakes and again build it, and this whole process goes on like this. Okay, so now these are DevOps tools which I was talking about. So in code, Git is a very important software to build our app or whatever thing, which Git is used to store our data in a repository. Okay, then with the help of Maven we build the things, with JUnit, or we test that are there any problem or not. Then with Jenkins is basically a pipeline software, so it will gonna release it to client side, and then it gonna deploy on Docker containers. Basically it is OS, like Docker is very fantastic technology, so it's gonna deploy on Docker, and then it's gonna operate it by Ansible or Kubernetes. These are also very good tools. Okay, then it's gonna monitor through Splunk also. Splunk is a very heavy tool used in monitoring big data and all. So again, after monitoring, if there are any problems, so it's gonna give feedback to our operational team, and using Git the same process goes on. Okay, so these are DevOps tools basically. Let's move forward. Now coming to our next topic, which is MLOps, and the topic of our training. So what basically, first I've learned machine learning, then DevOps, and then when you integrate these, so here are new terms comes MLOps. So what this term refers to, so MLOps is a set of practices that combines machine learning, DevOps, and data engineering, which aims to deploy and maintain ML systems. So basically, if you are building a machine learning model, so it is very important to deploy on deploy in company side or in a production server. So it is very difficult task to deploy machine learning models, because only 25% of as of now only 25% of companies are able to do, or 25% of projects are able to properly deployed on production site or anywhere in the company. Okay, so MLOps is basically DevOps plus machine learning. So you are unifying the DevOps and machine learning, so that those model can efficiently deployed on production sites. So workflow of MLOps will be somewhat like this. Same, all of the DevOps and machine learning, it's somewhat like if you were working on an app and then you were doing things like deploying on server side, so here ML model will be there and you have to deploy it on the production server side. So what first is you have to train model, then you have to package. Like if a model is trained, then you have to package in a form of app or application, like how a company or a customers can use. Then that model will be validated, then it will be deployed to production side, then monitoring will be done, and if there is any problem, it again have to train the model, and this cycle goes on, and this cycle is known as MLOps basically. So what are the major challenges in MLOps? Okay, so as I told you that MLOps deployment and automation is a very difficult task in machine learning models. So first challenge is only that deployment and automation is basically a very difficult task, because there are two teams. Like one is team of data scientists and other team is of IT, which do operation work. So for their coordination and if data scientist made a model, then it is very difficult for IT or operation team to manage those uh, models if any problem comes there. Second is monitoring management. As you know, many errors and many difficulties come when you are monitoring or you are managing ML models, because somewhat like failure rate is too high in ML models, because compatibility issues are there. So because of it, it is quite difficult to deploy ML models in DevOps scenario. Reproducibility of models and predictions. So basically what when it is a challenge for data scientists also, that they can't reproduce and again, like if there any problem, they can't make the whole model itself or a new model. So it is very difficult for them to, if there is any problem, so it is very difficult for data scientists to rectify it, because it takes a very long process, and you can't take risk when you are deploying it on production server sites. Business users, because of these failure rates, we can't use in business, because first of all it will take so much time. If there is any problem, so the to rectify that problem, it takes too much time and companies will lost $1 million because of it. So for business users, no one is using machine learning models in DevOps, and no company is using. Many less companies are using these models as a business purpose. Okay, or the major thing is in today's or at present time, only prototypes are there. Like only prototypes, like they can do that much. So but we can't you know say that a prototype, we can't deploy a prototype on uh, production server site or in a business. So that's why scalability is also a factor. And fourth is collaboration. So as I told you, the collaboration of data scientist and IT team is kind of difficult in these scenarios. But if we overcome these challenges, and if we do this work with a little more concern and more responsibility, so these challenges can be uh, overcome. Okay, thank you.